What's up? This is Coach Luca. I hope you're staying strong, practicing, or training. Welcome back to the Hardstyle Kettlebell Pro. I'd like to show you two effective methods for building muscle mass with a single kettlebell. So whatever kettlebell you may have, if you're a man or woman, you want a light to medium weight. It's possible to have a heavy kettlebell, but it's not the best for hypertrophy, for building muscle. So I recommend something that you can press or squat or pull, whatever exercise or movement you're doing, that you can do at least 8 to 10 reps. If you can do more than 8 to 10 reps, that's fine too. To know how many reps you can do, you're gonna perform a test first. So you're gonna do a rep max test. The way to do this is to warm up, build up with 2 or 3 sets warm up that are easier. And after a few minutes rest, you do a test and you do as many reps as you can. Let's take the example of a kettlebell overhead press, a military press. And I have a 16 kilo and I perform my rep max test. And if you can do 12 reps perfectly without training to failure, that's your rep max. So for example, if you keep going and you press and you fail, don't do that. You want perfect technique each and every rep. This is important. So if I successfully completed 12 reps with my overhead military press with a 16 kilo, again, that's my rep max test. You can even call it technical rep max, TRM. I learned this from one of my mentors, Fabio Zonin. The technical rep max, that's gonna be your baseline. Now, the training program, the way it works is you're gonna perform 3 to 5 sets, okay, in a session if you wanna build muscle. And each set, you're gonna take it close to your maximum. Now, this is not necessarily a test, but now we're at training. So your first set is gonna be close to your limit. Let's say you get 12, you manage to get your rep max. Now the next set is gonna be less reps. It's gonna go more than likely in a descending format. After maybe 3 to 5 minutes, or sometimes 2-3 minutes rest, I'll do another set. Likely it will be 2 reps less. It would be 10 reps. The following set, probably 8. Now if you could do another set or up to 5 sets, you may be hitting the last few sets the same number. So for example, I might do 12, 10, 8, 8, and maybe another set of 8 to complete. I would train like this maybe twice a week, once or twice a week, where I push myself really hard with the same exercise. If you decide to add other exercises, you could do it either on the same day or different days. You can have as many as 3 to 5 exercises in a program. I would recommend you would do more upper and lower body combined together. That's possible. You can also do push and pull together. That works well too. So your goal with doing 3 to 5 sets close to your limit would be to bring all the sets to the same number. So let's say your first set was 12. Your goal in this program, it may take you 4 to 6 weeks, is to get all the sets to 12. So it might go, for example, like 12, 10, 10, 10, 8, right? That would be the progression. Then you would get 12, and then the rest of the sets would be 10. And then you get more sets of 12, 12, 12, the rest 10, and build them up all to where you get all the 5 sets to 12 reps. The second method to build muscle with a single kettlebell is to use ladders instead of going to your rep max. What's a ladder? It's basically several sets in a cluster, so back to back. Of course, taking a rest in between. You don't go first set and then second set and then third set immediately. You have to take rest. You may take less rest for the first 2 sets because they're easier, and the last set of the ladder might be more challenging, usually it is you would take more rest before. A ladder is kind of the opposite of what we discussed of the first method. It's basically breaking up your rep max into 2-3 sets, usually in easier sets, so you don't take it to your maximum. You kind of make it a little bit easier so you could do more volume. The nice thing about ladders is that you get to practice your setup and your set down more often with every exercise. So the way to do this is take your rep max again, take that test number, break up that number into 3 sets. So if your rep max, let's say it's 8, then I would do 2, 3, 5. And the 3 and the 5 adds up to your rep max. That's pretty cool. If your rep max is 10, then you do 2, 4, 6. If your rep max is 12, then you do 3, 5, 7, right? Those are your ladders. So use the same bell, do your rep max test, and that way you'll know your ladders to do for your program. How many ladders should you do? So you could start with just 2 ladders and then build it up over a course of 4 to 6 weeks usually it takes to complete a cycle of ladders. After your first cycle of ladders, recycle either with a new rep max or a new kettlebell. You should buy more kettlebells if you only have one. Again, you can train 2 to 3 days a week or 1 to 2 days depending on the exercise, how difficult. You can plan it in different ways. You can have a light, medium, and heavy day where you build up the volume progressively throughout the week, and the last day of the week would be the highest volume day. Usually I typically recommend in total amount of reps, so I wouldn't necessarily think of how many ladders, but how many total reps do I do. So build up, start with maybe 20 and progress to 30, 40, or 50, 60 plus. See how much you can tolerate before you start to get too fatigued. And after you feel it was challenging, really challenging, take some time off and retest yourself either with, like I said, the same kettlebell or a new kettlebell. So how can you program either the first method or the second method? You want to have a series of exercises that you choose that are global, so multi-compound exercises. I would recommend 3 to 5. A push, a pull, lower body exercises like a squat or a hinge. You choose. Once you select your exercises, let's say for example, I choose the military press, I'm going to choose pull-ups, I'm going to choose the pistol squat, and I'm also going to choose a single leg deadlift. So there's my 4 exercises. I would do 2 exercises per session and alternate just A and B session. So A would have upper body and lower body, and the same thing for B, and you would just mix them up as the week progresses. Day 1 would be program A, day 2 would be program B, and day 3 would be program A again. For week 2, it would be BAB. Follow either method, either with the rep max 3 to 5 sets, where you start really with as many reps as you can in perfect form and in a descending manner. And remember, the goal is to get all of the reps to maybe the top set, the first set, which is the hardest, over a course of 4 to 6 weeks. Otherwise, you could do ladders, but progress the ladders. Increase the number of ladders or the number of sets throughout the week. Just progressively add 1 ladder at a time each week. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. This program can be done with 1 kettlebell. If that's all you have, you can do it with bodyweight exercises. Keep it simple, have fun, and build some nice muscle.